Welcome back to this week's changelog. We got 5 notable features for you all today. Let's jump into it. Playground now uses AI to automatically pre-fill leads for you based off of the inquiry calls that you have. What does this actually mean? So let's say a new family calls in to inquire and you are focused on the conversation. You ask them for their contact information, phone and email. You ask about their child name and birthday, and maybe some other additional information. Rather than you or your team having to manually write down and take notes as you do these calls, Playground will now autofill potential lead form for you so that when you go in after the call to add them to your CRM, all of the heavy lifting and transcription is already there. So let's take a look at how this actually works. So jumping into our CRM, we're here on the calls tab where you can see all of my calls that have come in. For these calls that the system doesn't yet recognize as an existing lead, it will have a purple badge indicating that a new lead has been detected. So when I click on this, I can convert this to lead, and you can see that based off of these call details here, you can see the summary that's at the top. The system will pre-fill Jennifer Martinez, the phone number, the email, and any other information that might be relevant to creating the lead. This way, you just focus on having the conversation and the system does all the heavy lifting for you. The next feature of the week is another AI-related feature for our providers in Texas that are recording subsidy deposits on a regular basis. Our system now uses AI to take the deposit that you get from your agency and automatically pre-fill all of the received amounts in Playground. It's super easy and takes just a couple seconds instead of having to manually type every single field for every single child for every single deposit. If you have a state or an agency that you also want support for in the system, just reach out to us and we'll talk about how we can make it happen. The next feature release is the ability to now record trainings in bulk for your staff. So previously, in order to record a training for staff, you had to record it one by one, teacher by teacher, which was a little bit clunky. So this week we added the ability to do this all in bulk at once, hopefully saving you a lot of time. Let's take a look at how it works. So on my staff page, I can now select multiple staff using the checkboxes on the left side of their name, go up top, hit record training, and at once I can type in CPR training for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and for both Wilfred and Josh, this is now saved. The next big release of the week is support for enterprise level calendars. We heard your feedback that for our multi-site operators, it was a little bit annoying having to switch between location to location to access the calendar. So now any multi-site administrator has one enterprise calendar that you can use. You can create events across multiple locations. You can quickly toggle between each location's calendar to see exactly what is happening for that specific location for that given period of time. And it should just overall make the multi-program coordination significantly easier. And the last feature release of the week is 2 new automation triggers that have come widely requested. You can now kick off automations with SMS-based and call-based triggers. So when you get an inbound or an outbound call or a text message, that can now kick off an automation without you having to be involved. Let's take a look at how it works. In an automation, when you click on the trigger, you can see now that we have a trigger for when a call is received or placed, or when an SMS is received or sent. So if I click on the call, for example, I can define this call direction or call outcome and say, hey, anytime we get an inbound call for a lead in a certain stage, kick off this automation. Or anytime we get an inbound text for a lead in a certain stage, create a task for me or my team to follow up. Super duper easy, and should help additionally make it easier than ever to have a system that helps you follow up with leads and nurture them so that you can enroll them into your program. That's it for this week's changelog. We'll see you next week for more updates.